Steve Jobs, the man who changed the world. When we think about innovation, creativity, and resilience, one name shines the brightest: Steve Jobs. He was not just the co-founder of Apple Incorporated, but a visionary who transformed the way we use technology, listen to music, watch movies, and even communicate with each other. Yet behind the shiny success was a journey filled with rejection, failures, and lessons that make his life story one of the most powerful sources of motivation. Steve Jobs was born in 1955 in San Francisco, California. His biological parents were young and unable to raise him, so he was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs. From the very beginning, his life didn't start with privilege. It started with uncertainty. But this uncertain beginning shaped him into a man who would later teach the world how to dream big. Jobs was always curious and restless as a child. He loved tinkering with electronics in the family garage. His adoptive father, who was a mechanic, taught him how to build and repair things. This early exposure ignited Jobs' fascination with technology. But he wasn't an excellent student in school. In fact, he struggled to follow rules, often clashed with teachers, and dropped out of Reed College after just one semester. Yet instead of seeing this as failure, he called it freedom. It allowed him to explore what he truly loved: calligraphy, design, and technology. In 1976, Jobs, along with his friend Steve Wozniak, started Apple in a garage. They were just two young men with a big idea: to make computers small enough for ordinary people to use at home. Their first product, Apple I, was built with passion and limited resources. It sold modestly, but it was the start of something revolutionary. Soon, Apple II became one of the first highly successful personal computers, and by the age of 25, Steve Jobs was already a millionaire. But success didn't come without setbacks. Jobs was known for being demanding, intense, and sometimes very difficult to work with. As Apple grew, tensions between him and the company's board of directors also grew. In 1985, in a shocking turn of events, Steve Jobs was fired from the very company he had founded. Imagine creating something from nothing, only to be pushed out. Many people would have given up, but not Jobs. He later said, "Getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. Instead of quitting, Jobs started over. He founded a new company, NEXT, which developed advanced computer systems. At the same time, he bought a small animation studio called Pixar. This investment turned out to be golden. Pixar created blockbuster movies like Toy Story, which changed the world of animation forever. Jobs was proving that setbacks could be transformed into comebacks. In 1997, destiny brought him back to Apple. The company was struggling, and Jobs returned to rescue it. With bold ideas and a fearless spirit, he launched iconic products like the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad. Each of these inventions reshaped entire industries. The iPod changed the way we listen to music, the iPhone redefined communication, and the iPad created a whole new category of devices. Steve Jobs had not only revived Apple, he had built it into one of the most valuable companies in the world. But beyond technology, Jobs taught us something deeper about life and success. In his famous Stanford commencement speech in 2005, he shared 3 lessons: connect the dots, love what you do, and remember that death is the ultimate motivator. Jobs reminded us that sometimes the dots in life only connect when we look back, so we must trust in the future. He urged us to follow our passion, because only by loving what we do can we achieve greatness. And finally, he reminded us that our time is limited, so we should not waste it living someone else's life. Steve Jobs passed away in 2011 after a long battle with cancer. He left behind not just products, but a legacy of innovation, courage, and vision. His story proves that failure is not the end. It is just a step on the journey. He showed us that passion and persistence can transform ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Today, every time we unlock an iPhone, watch a Pixar movie, or browse on a MacBook, We're experiencing the dreams of a man who dared to think differently. Steve Jobs' life is a reminder that even if life pushes you down, you can rise higher than ever before. Lesson for us all: believe in your vision, stay hungry, stay foolish, and never be afraid of failure, because failure is often the doorway to greatness. Subscribe my channel for more success and motivation video.